Okay guys, today I have a video to put in, or install rather, the Govee permanent house lights. I have a very weird house in a sense, and I just don't think it would look good to have Christmas lights up and you've got a wire dangling up there and everybody can see it. And I'm trying to make it more of a nice flush, kind of professional install in a sense. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go through my attic and I'm gonna go out through the soffit to get my get the power for the Govee lights. I'm gonna come up this arch here. I'm gonna use that extension piece here, and then I'm going to continue on up, over, and then down as far as I can through the side. So I'm going to try to install these as neatly as I can. I'll show some tips of what I'm gonna do, and hopefully these work as good as I think year-round as everybody else says. So I'm gonna go ahead into the attic and I'm gonna start prepping what I need to do. I need to get an outlet closer to the front of this part of the house, and then I'm gonna come out the side here where the soffit is. That's where I'm gonna drop the power out. So I'm gonna go ahead and start that, and then once I get that all situated, I got my power out here, then I can work on actually hanging the actual lights, and we'll finish up out here. Okay, so I'm currently in my attic, and I'm gonna have to do a little bit of wiring to get a plug over to the front side of the house over here. Currently all I have in my attic is this one light switch into a light bulb. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take power from this light switch here, or just before it, and I'm going to split it, and then I'm gonna put an outlet closer to the front of the house so I can drill through the soffit and put the wire through for the Govee lights. So I'm gonna go ahead and start mocking that up, get it wired in, and then I'll show you what I have in case you have kind of the same situation and what you could do. Now I know I could have obviously done this a lot better. As you can see here, I had to extend the wire a little bit just to get into the junction box because it's kind of tight here. I didn't have any room to play. Obviously if I were to do that right, I would have pretty much just gotten rid of that and ran a new one. But this gets you by for now. And for anybody who's not electrical savvy, this is actually relatively easy. All you're doing in this box here is the same thing that happened here. You're just attaching black to black, green to green, and white to white. Black is your hot, white is your neutral, green is your ground. And all you're doing is you're just splicing that power that is initially coming from here and going to your light. You're just taking that power and you're splitting it, and you're gonna follow it. And I'm gonna run this all the way over to the front of my house, and I'm gonna put a outlet there. So obviously this isn't pretty, but it does get the job done. And hopefully that kind of helps you for anybody who's trying to do it yourself and isn't really that good. So I'm gonna move on to stretching this cable out, and then I will move into putting in this box that I have for my outlet, and then I will kind of show you what I did there. So you can kind of see what I did here. If you look way over there, you can see where it first comes out of that box, and I just used some hangers and kind of ran the MC up high, so that way it's not interfering with anything here and I can move freely about. So obviously down here I've got the end of the line. I'm going to put my outlet probably somewhere right down here. I'm thinking pretty close to the floor joist, or well, really the ceiling, but the floor in the attic at least. That way all I gotta do is plug in like right down here, and then I can just run the outlet, or the wire from the outlet, just outside through the soffit down there, and then I won't have to worry about doing any or leaving any wires outside, and the only thing that'll be outside is the Govee lights. So in the off chance that you are changing out your outlet so that you have a nice new like GFI or something, or maybe you're even putting an outlet outside, just a quick tip, or not tip, but really just a quick overview. Your hot side, which is typically your black, you're going to go on your brass side, and then your neutral, which is typically your white, you're going to put on the silver side, and then obviously you're going to put your ground cable to this ground screw on the bottom. So if you ever are, or you're not electrically savvy, It's very simple. All you gotta do is, basically, you're gonna put a loop in this wire here. You're gonna wrap it around. You can technically push it through the back. I'm not really a fan of that, but that's really all you gotta do. You just loop it around, tighten it down, and that's really about it. So just like this, as you see, kind of hard to see with my light, but you just loop it, put it through, tighten it down. That's it. Typically don't really want any insulation on there. I do have a little bit, but that's not too bad. So you're gonna do this with all of them. Okay, so now I have my outlet all installed here. This is what I'm gonna plug my Govee lights into. And then what I'm gonna do is, it's gonna be hard to show you. If you can kind of see down there, I don't know if you can or not. I'm gonna run the wire down there. Oh, there you can see the soffit there. I'm gonna drill through that soffit, and then I'm just gonna run the wire that plugs in. I'm gonna run that through, and that is what the Govee lights will be powered by. So once, obviously, I'm gonna drill the hole, I'll put the wire through, and then I'm gonna start my Govee lights right there on the corner, and then I'm gonna run them, obviously, up the soffits, up here, down. I'm gonna use my extension piece, down, and then back up, over, and everywhere. So that's how I'm gonna do it. I wanna keep as much out of the weather as possible. And once I drill the hole, I'll probably just silicone it or something to fill that hole back in. But that's how I'm gonna run my power. Obviously you don't have to do this if you have a house that's easier to get to. I just have too high of a roof line to where I just don't want to run a power line up the side of the house. I don't think it'll look good. I want this to look as professional as possible in a sense. So that's how I'm doing it. If you don't want to do it this way, do it however you like. I'm definitely not here to push anybody. I'm just trying to help however you can do it. So I'm going to move on into the outside portion. So I bought this extra kit from Amazon. It's 150. These are, outdoor wire clamps basically. You just put a screw right through the middle, and then you can use a zip tie that goes right in between. But it goes right in between there, and then you can zip tie the wire to it so that way it doesn't move anywhere. So I'm going to be using these on the house, only because I don't want the 3M to come off over time and then you just have dangling lights. So this weren't expensive. I'm gonna put a link in the description for you guys. So basically the method here is you're gonna have wire clamp on a light or on the wire. The light's gonna be basically right here, and then you're gonna put on the other side of the light. So the light's gonna be right in the middle, and then 2 wire clamps. That way the light doesn't shift anywhere, it's facing straight down, and that's it. So hopefully this will keep everything snug, and it should be weatherproof. So let's move on in. So as you can see, it's not pretty, but I did drill a hole out to the bottom, and I ran the wire down through. So I'm just gonna go ahead, and when I do start attaching them, I'm gonna go this way and then up my other soffits up the rest of the house. But at least for now, at least the wire is out, it's sealed, and I don't have to worry about any other holes, creating water. So this is honestly what I think should be the best bet if you have to go the route that I did. Instead of going straight through the wood, going through a soffit is a much easier way in a sense to me. Alright, so as you can see here now, I do have all of my lights on. It was kind of hard to film because I did have to get a bucket truck, because right around here my 24-foot extension ladder no longer reaches any higher, so I had to get this section up here with a bucket truck. But I can kind of show you over here. Maybe I can zoom in and show you guys. So I put zip ties on each side with a wire clamp that I bought from Amazon, as you can kind of see there. So each light is zip tied. Some of them are 3M taped and zip tied. Of course, some of them you can see, like right here, this one. they end up in that gap, so it's kind of hard to actually get them to do what you need to. But as you can see here, what I did was I did go up, over, back down, had to wrap around that section here, up again, over, and then down as far as I could, and then that's where I used my extension piece, and then I used the last two pieces over here and then a little bit on the side, and then just capped it off on the end. So this is how it is right now. This took me about a full day, only because it was so high. I mean, I could get this section here done in like 10 minutes, but everything else was just way harder. So I'm gonna wait until it gets darker, and then I'll show you guys a little bit more. But these are the lights as of right now, and I mean, as you can see, like right here in this section, they look really good. Yeah, I actually can't wait to see these later tonight. All right, guys, so here's the lights at nighttime. I actually have them dimmed down right now. I don't know if you can see my phone here, but I got them at 20% because I thought 100% was just a little too bright. But here, I'll go ahead and I'll ramp it up to 100%. And you can see, I think it's just a little bit too much, especially if you're in a neighborhood, it might be just a little much. So I keep it down at 20% here, which is just enough to be nice ambient lighting. This video makes it seem a little bit brighter than it really is. But here you go, you can change the lights here. Here's blue. Let's see, here's red. Here's red. You got white. So you got a bunch of different colors. As you can see in my app, I have 3 sections that I dimmed down to 1% because I didn't want them really shown, especially like there on the corner. And then up on that section right there where I have some that I don't want to be seen. So overall, that's how that is. And if you switch to, this is Christmas mode. So that kind of has a bunch of different modes there. Here's another one. It's kind of nice to have a bunch of different options. Here we go, this is Thanksgiving mode. I don't really know what the determining factor is of the colors of certain holidays other than Christmas, but it's still nice. And then of course you can change individual sections, so it runs off of 4 lights per section. So if I wanted to do probably at the 3rd section in and I wanted to make that one just blue, there you go, you can see right there that one is just now blue. Or if I even wanted to add, here's another 2 sections over here, we'll make those blue right above the front door. And of course you can change those however you want, and you can just change each one to whatever, so they can stay a certain color. But that's pretty much it. The install for my house took about, I'd say 9 hours in total. That's only because I had such a hard time getting this section up here. Probably this section here only took me about like an hour. It was mainly just the high parts. So if you have a lower house, I think it'll be a lot faster. And I didn't do everything 3M. I did basically 2 screws per light. So, that adds up in a lot of time. But since I'm not gonna be able to get up there, and if the 3M doesn't hold, I don't wanna have to go back up there. It's nice that they're just, screwed in and zip tied, and that's it. Shouldn't have to worry about it at all. But hopefully you guys, you like this video. I definitely hope this helps you guys out. I think they're great. I think they're worth it. It's a little expensive, but trust me, these look so much better in person. So hope you guys have a great time and enjoy.